Democrats vowing to derail Gina Haspel's confirmation today because she's too tough on terrorists.
I have met with Gina Haspel. I know her somewhat, but I also know that she was fully supportive of the program that many of us are very critical of.
There can only be one steering wheel in the car, and if the person in the driver's seat believes in torture, that does concern me.
So why is being tough on terrorists a problem? Here with a message to the critics, Joe Connor, who lost his cousin and father in terror attacks. Sir, you've gone through more than one man should have to go through. When you hear these critiques of Gina Haspel as being too tough on terrorists, what goes through your mind?
How can we be too tough on terrorists? These terrorists murder Americans. They would slit our throats if they had the chance. They flew their planes into innocent people on 9/11. And we're being too tough on them? Come on, this is a joke.
Okay. The critics are going to say that the interrogation techniques that were used are sort of not American. They violate the concept of what it means to be American and the freedoms that we hold so dear in America. How do you respond to that?
You know, that just makes me so damn angry. I was at Guantanamo Bay and I saw what America is. America tries to bring justice to these terrorists who murdered without any due process. We've given due process. We created rules that made this not torture, but enhanced interrogation. It's not torture. I saw Khalid Sheikh Mohammed down there at Guantanamo Bay in the courtroom. He was well fed. He was well nourished. He wasn't limping. He wasn't. Torture is when you get beaten up, where you break your hands. These guys were waterboarded, water doused. They didn't look any worse for wear down there. They're murderers. They tried to kill us. They did kill us. And to think that we're going to attack one of our own who saved American lives. Look, I testified at Eric Holder's confirmation hearing in 2009 about his role in the release of the terrorists who murdered my father, the FALN. And I saw the way that the politicians sort of looked down at me and other people who were testifying. They seem like they're so far above what Americans are. This is a theory to them. It's an echo chamber. What's American, what's not. There are American lives at stake here. People's lives at stake. My father was murdered by terrorists. My cousin Steve was murdered by terrorists. 3,000 others have, and Lord knows how many would have been if we didn't take these precautions and use these techniques. So it just makes me sick. These people think they're above us, these politicians. Come on, this woman saved a lot of American lives. She's there for us. Let her be the CIA chief. She deserves it. She's going to keep us safer.
And we heard Condoleezza Rice on our air just a few days ago saying, look, if you weren't in the rooms following 9/11, if you didn't sort of take an active role in trying to figure out how we're going to stop this,
right,
you really can't talk because we had to do things that we, quite frankly, just had to do to protect the country.
Absolutely. This is a war. Like, that's what they don't understand. They're sitting up on Capitol Hill looking down on everyone. We are in a war. We are in a war for our existence. And unless we fight that war and prosecute that war to the toughest way we can, we will not win that war. We didn't win World War II by being soft. We won it because we were tough and we were stronger than our opponent. And once our opponent senses weakness, they go after you. They're like an animal. We need to keep strong and shove it down their throats. That is the way to win this.
Sir, last question for you. Do you think if those politicians that you saw sort of high on their hill there experienced what you have experienced in your life, do you think their views would be different?
I think they would have to be. But I think that literally, if it could happen to my family twice, it could happen to any family. They literally and figuratively look down on people. That's sort of a pathetic waif. Look what happened to his family, and it's such an arrogance. And I would hope that they have the soul that they would feel something if something like that did happen in their family.
Joe Connor, thank you very much, sir. Appreciate you being here, sharing your story with us. Time now is